battle for Middle-earth is about to begin.
So it begins.
Send these foul beasts into the abyss!
Welcome to Zorpazorp Gaming, my name's Lachlan Keen, and welcome to the next update video for Arda Unleashed. We've got some awesome stuff to cover today because the tournament is just 15 days away, certainly up to the business end of things. We're going to be looking at our next prize reveal, our list submission information, our team selection info, and of course all the other madness that is the 2 weeks leading up to the tournament. Now you guys have already seen our wonderful Urukai statue kindly donated by Weta Workshop to be part of our first place prize, but I'm also super excited to announce that first and second place will score themselves a copy of Middle-earth from Script to Screen by Daniel Falconer, an absolutely stunning volume that details lots of gorgeous colour artwork and imagery covering the whole journey of taking the films, both trilogies, from conceptual development all the way to the finished films we love on the screen. Daniel Falconer is a conceptual designer who worked on both trilogies, starting his work back in the mid to late 90s, and he's got a great perspective and he's put together an absolutely wonderful book here, valued at over $100 for both first and second place. So a really good score there for people who get themselves on the podium. But we've also had the opportunity to make these a little bit extra special. For the last couple of months I've been working for Dan Hanna, who was the production designer on The Hobbit and the supervising art director and set decorator on The Lord of the Rings. And Dan's not only a huge guy in the New Zealand film industry who's incredibly talented and partially responsible for bringing PJ's vision to the screen and kind of helping realize the films that we know and love, he's also an absolutely amazing guy who's so gracious and generous and warm, and he has kindly signed both of these books for us right in there on the front sleeve, which is just absolutely awesome to have those autographed copies go up just to make our prize pool just a little bit extra special and really help kind of coax you guys to try and get yourself up into first and second place. So a huge shout out to Dan. I hope you had a great New Year's, man, and you enjoyed a nice cool beer with your feet up over in New Zealand and enjoyed some of that lovely weather you guys are having at the moment. So thank you so much, man. So the prize pool is shaping up to be pretty special, but now it's on to some, less awesome but equally as important administration stuff. And first up, we've got list submission. So you need to submit your 750 point list for the grand tournament by the 10th of January. You don't need to submit any lists for the Battle for Middle-earth doubles on Thursday and Friday. It's just the GT that has the submission requirement, and those are due on the 10th. So make sure you get them in on time. Its submission is via our online platform on Tourney, and to tell you all about that whole list submission process, here is my slightly more digital self, voiceover Lockie.
Thanks, Real World Lockie. So, the first thing we need to do is jump on over to the Tourney website, www.torn.ee. And that brings us to the Tourney homepage. Now just cross off this little cookie bar and we've got login or register. Now you're going to need to create an account to use Tourney, so hit register if you haven't done that already. It's a very simple process. You just need your email and create a password and you'll be going in no time. But now we're just going to hit login and that takes us to the Tourney dashboard. Now there's a lot of really useful information here, but we're going to be primarily concerned with this left-hand panel, which is for tournament attendees. So we'll click on through. This brings us to the Tournament Attendees homepage, and we just want to select View My Tournaments to see all of the tournaments that we currently have tickets for. And here is Arda Unleashed showing up right at the top. Fantastic. We've got a couple of little red flags there, which are just showing tasks that need to be completed. So let's jump into the tournament page to have a look at those in detail. Now here on the tournament page we can see that there are two competitions for Arda Unleashed and both have some red tasks that need to be completed. Under the Grand Tournament section we can see that a list has not been submitted for this event, so what we're going to do now is create our list. Now we're going to leave this page and actually go to our profile up in the top right hand corner and create a list for our profile, and then once we've done that we'll submit it to the tournament event. So just click on Profile up in the top right hand corner. And this takes us to our profile page, and now in the navigation bar on the left hand side select lists, and you can see that we have no army list created yet, so we're going to click this to create one. Now the first thing we want to do for an army list is create a name, so you can pick anything you like, just something that fits. And then you need to select the game system. Obviously, we're playing with Middle-earth SBG, and that requires a selection of good or evil. For my little test army today, I'm going to be making a Mordor army, so I'll select evil, and now I'll add my first warband. First up, I need to select what army list my unit's going to be coming for. Obviously, I'm playing Mordor, so I'll pick Mordor. And then because this is the general of my army, I'm going to toggle the general selection to yes, because I'm bringing the Witch King of Angmar. In the Warband leader box, we just fill out the name of the model and all of its equipment. So I'm going to be taking an Armoured Horse, a Morgul Blade, 3 Might, 9 Will, and 3 Fate. And that gives us a total of 165 points for the Witch King, which we just fill out in the points column. For now, we'll ignore the counts as column, and now we're going to add some warriors to the Witch King's Warband. So the Witch King's going to be accompanied by some Morannon Orcs with Spear and Shield, so we fill that out in the Warrior Type and Options box. And each of those orcs is worth 9 points, so we just put the cost of one of these warriors that we've outlined in the points box, and then we fill out how many of them in the quantity box. Super simple. And then we have our first complete warband. You can see up in the top of the box it outlines the cost of the warband, and down below it outlines the cost so far of the total army. So let's add a second warband. So once again I'm going to select the Mordor army list, and this unit is not going to be the general. I've already got one of those because I'm going to bring the Mouth of Sauron. Now he's 85 points when he's sitting on his armoured horse, so I'll fill out 85 in the points column. Now I'll add a few warriors for his warband. He's going to be accompanied by a couple of Morgul Knights, so we'll chuck that in the warrior type box. And remember to put the points cost for one of these warriors, not all of them, being 18. And now we put the quantity of 6 for that warband, and that brings the Mouth of Sauron warband up to 193 points. Onto the third warband, we're going to select Mordor once again. We're going to chuck in just a simple little orc captain here with a bow. Remember, we've got to put the equipment in this description box as well. That brings him up to 45 points. And now our archery contingent is going to get a few orc trackers. So that goes in the warrior type and options box. One orc tracker is 5 points, and we're going to have 12 of them. And now we've got a warband of 105 points. Super simple stuff. Now the final warband is just where it gets a little bit tricky, where we have a few complex units. Once again, I'll select the Mordor army list, and this time I'm going to bring a Mordor catapult. Now of course the Mordor catapult entry is quite unique because even though it's one cost, the catapult doesn't count as a model, but it does come with some crew. So what we need to do here is change this counts as value to 4 because it comes with a troll and 3 crew members. And I'm also going to add a few additional crew in the warrior box, and they are 5 points each, and I would like 3 of them. So that is going to come out to 15 points, and the total warband is now going to come out to 175 with 1 troll loader and 6 orc crew. And you can see that the total cost of the army has come out to 746 points. So we're going to save that, and then that will bring us back to your list screen on your profile, and you can see here our Middle-earth SBG Mordor list. It's 746 points, made from 4 warbands, and it comprises of 40 models because we made the counts as adjustment that made sure that the catapult's crew were represented accurately. So that's all well and good. We have now made the list, but now what we need to do is submit the list to the tournament. So we're just going to hit home, and that's going to take us back to the tourney dashboard. Once again, we'll select tournament attendees, we'll view my tournaments, and we're going to select Arda Unleashed. And now we're going to pick the competition we want to submit the list to, and we're going to click the Grand Tournament Team Championship. Now when we arrive at the competition page, we've got an important choice to make. We can select to either play in a team or choose to play solo. Now we're going to get into the team aspect of things in just a second. For now, we're going to have a look at list submissions when you're playing solo, so we're going to make the right hand selection. So that brings up a list selection search box where all you need to do is type in the title of your army list that you saved to your profile, select it, and click submit. And that will send your army list off to be reviewed by me, the tournament organizer, and once I approve it, your army list is submitted for the grand tournament. Now, let's jump back to Real World Lockie as he begins to tell us all about how the team element works.
So the final layer of administration is the team selection for our team championship. For those of you who don't know, the team championship is a tournament superstructure that takes place within our singles event, the Grand Tournament. Players don't actually play any team games. Instead, they register for teams, and at the end of the singles event, their individual singles scores are combined to form a team score. And what this does is it adds a whole layer of camaraderie and team spirit to what can be otherwise quite a highly competitive singles event. You'll see players breaking out team uniforms and barracking for their fellow mates to do well in their singles games, so it just adds a really nice atmosphere. Now to talk about this whole team selection process and make sure you guys are nice and selected for your teams, I will once again defer to my digital counterpart, VoiceOver Lockie.
Thanks real world, Lockie. So once again, log into Tourney and jump into the Tourney dashboard. You want to hit the Attendees page and jump into My Tournaments to bring up Arda Unleashed. We'll view the tournament page, and now we can see our competitions. And you can see that one of the red tasks in our competition page for the Grand Tournament is that we are not in a team. Now we've already selected to play as a team, so we are now presented with two options. We can either create our own team or join an existing team. So first we're going to have a look at setting up a team. Now the first thing any good team needs is a name, and I want to see some pretty cool and inventive names, guys. Brownie points will be given, so surprise me and keep me on my toes, and then you need a team description. Now teams in the Grand Tournament have a maximum of 9 players, and then the top 4 highest results from those 9 players will be taken into account to factor the team score. So we'll just click create and we have ourselves a team. Now this takes us to the team management page, and as you can see we've got a whole bunch of important information here available to the team captain and his or her team members. First there is the team member breakdown. Obviously we only have the one player at the moment. Above that is the team member request section. As people select to join your team, they will appear there. Here's just a quick reference guide for all of the list restrictions, and down below we can see the same list selection submission window that we saw in the solo player section. So all we need to do, just like we did before, is search for our army list using the name that you saved it under on your profile. Click search, and then your list will appear as mine has there, and then click submit. That will submit the list for review. It brings up a little summary window that breaks down the list and all of its key components. You can have a review of that, and then you can confirm your submission, and that submits it to the team list archive. And once all team members have submitted their lists for review, the team captain can begin his or her review process. Now it is the team captain's responsibility to check these lists thoroughly before they are forwarded on to me, the tournament organizer, as I am the double check and not the primary check, and that way we will have great accuracy across all submitted lists. If at any point there is an error in submitted lists, the team captain or tournament organizer will simply note down in the rejection comments what needs to be changed. That can be edited and then resubmitted until it's complete. And that is how we create a team and submit our lists for the team championship. Now of course you don't have to create a team, you can join an existing team that has already been set up, and we do that by using the search for existing team portal. So here we have a second profile. Frodo has decided to join Lockie's team. So from the tourney dashboard we hit Attendees, My Tournaments, Arda Unleashed, and then select our competition, which is the Grand Tournament, and now we have the option to join a team. Now it's very simple, we simply search for the name of the team, and you can also see a list of the existing teams that have already been created, and there we can see the fellowship created by Lockie, and we can simply submit a request to join this team. Back over in Team Captain's Lockie's login now, we can see that the request has come through, and all he needs to do is click submit, and Frodo is now part of his team, and their plucky team of the fellowship has 2 members. I think they need to go and find themselves a Samwise or a Merry, and then they'll be perfectly legal for scoring in the Grand Tournament. If we just jump back to our tournament page, we can see that for Lockie's profile, there are still a couple of things that need to be completed, and the most important is the doubles pairing for the Battle for Middle-earth doubles. Finding a partner for the doubles pairing is even easier than forming a team. All you need to do is click on the competition page and it takes you to this partner search window. All you need to do here is type in the tourney profile name of the player that you want to partner with, click on them and submit a request. And back on Frodo's profile, we access the competition page, and we can see that we've been sent a request by Lockie. So we'll click on that and confirm it. And now Frodo and Lockie will be playing in the Battle for Middle-earth doubles together. And if we just jump back to our attendee page, you can see that that task is now complete. And there we have it. That takes us through creating and joining a team for the team championship, as well as submitting our list for the Grand Tournament, and also finding our doubles partners for the Battle for Middle-earth doubles.
Well, that wraps up this Arda Unleashed update. Remember guys, there's only 15 days left, so get those armies painted, get those display boards ready, and get your tickets. They are selling fast, so jump down into Tourney, down in the description below. You can grab yourself the full event pass for all 4 days of SBG gaming for $35, or single day tickets are $10 if you can only make it for a day here or there. Make sure you stay tuned to Zorpazorp Gaming for the rest of the updates as we move towards the tournament. And of course, if you can't make it to the tournament, you'll be able to watch all of the event coverage right here on Zorpazorp Gaming, including our epic daily vlogs and our beautiful live stream of the final championship round on Sunday afternoon. So make sure you're tuned in for that, and I will see you all at Arda Unleashed.